So, because we are isolating and we have limited resources of food because we can't go anywhere and just buy food, and yeah, for some reason, because there's also a lockdown here in the UK at the moment, there is really little opportunity to even get like a delivery slot from the supermarket. So therefore, we're just going to be creative and make bits and bobs from the things that we have here. It's really, really great. I take this as a challenge. It's a positive challenge to use up cupboard stuff that has been in the cupboard for a while. So I went through my cupboards in my head and then physically as well, and found a couple of things. So I've got lasagna sheets here, which are already open. They've been in the cupboard for a while. You make lasagna once, you don't make lasagna every week, so you know it's very, very likely that you have something like that in the cupboard. I also found this, which was reduced, and I picked this up probably a couple of months ago in a health shop. So they are teriyaki jackfruit cubes in a sauce. So I'm gonna use those. I do have a little selection, a small selection of vegetables. So I've got some mushrooms, which my lovely friend Lizzie brought by yesterday with some other bits. And I've got like here a little box, which I started doing. I started putting all my veg in a box to keep it fresher and all in one. So I've got fennel, I've got some shallots, I've got garlic, ginger, which I'm gonna use because it's already quite an Asian flavored dish. Carrots. So yeah, we're gonna just like mumble jumble everything together here. And kale. So again, this is gonna be like I do have a plan. By the way, I do have a plan, but I'm not sure what exactly I'm gonna put into. So I'm gonna do this very intuitively. Yeah, so let's go with this. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna boil some pasta, and I'm gonna use the lasagna sheets for it. The idea that I had for this was when I traveled I did a gap year through Southeast Asia, and the first time I arrived in Thailand was in Bangkok. And of course, if you go to Thailand, you want to try all the nice Thai dishes. So I had Thai curry. Obviously, the first thing I had was a tom yum soup, which was amazing. The second dish I had, another famous Thai dish, is a pad Thai. However, the pad Thai that you get, or that I got in Bangkok, or that particular place in Bangkok, and throughout a few other places in Thailand, were made with what I can only describe as lasagna sheets. So they were really as long and as big as lasagna sheets. So I'm gonna try to kind of recreate this a little bit with my teriyaki jackfruit pieces. It's not gonna be like a pad Thai, but I'm gonna add some nuts in it, some vegetables, and obviously the teriyaki jackfruit pieces. So hopefully it's gonna be like a Bangkok pad Thai inspired Asian dish, if that makes sense. I'm not gonna use the whole lasagna sheet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break them in the middle, so it's basically just like a thick noodle that I'm trying to use. So yeah, so water to the boil, or I'm boiling water right now. And yeah, so I'm gonna make some. I'm gonna chop some shallots first of all, because shallots or onions really deserve a place. And I have shallots just because I don't know, they were on offer. So we went to the supermarket the other day, which was amazing because they just reduced a lot of like fresh fruit and vegetables. I'm just gonna get a little bowl for all my trashy trash here. So I've got a few shallots here, so it's 3 shallots actually, which I'm gonna try to chop finely. What I'm doing here is I've got lasagna sheets, so as I said, I'm gonna try to do a little bit like the original Bangkok pad Thai. So when I first traveled to Bangkok, I had those lovely, lush pieces of noodles which were really thick and really long. So I'm gonna try to recreate this with leftover lasagna sheets. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to break them down a little bit before I boil them, so that I've got like nice long noodle shapes like this. So I just had a handful of pasta, yeah, pasta breakups here. So I'm gonna add this into my boiling water. Now I've got a piece of ginger, which I'm gonna, I could use a peeler, but I'm just gonna cut the skin off with my knife. Here's my knife. I cut very small pieces, and then I keep stirring my noodles just to make sure they're not sticking. So I chopped my ginger, and it's quite a lot of ginger, but it's the season to be, sick. So we're gonna add a lot of ginger because it's really good for your throat. It's really good for your tummy. It's a really great ingredient. I was just about to peel it, but first of all, I'm gonna add some garlic as well. So again, garlic. Garlic is something that I like to add to a lot of foods, even in raw state. So for example, for guacamole, I was just about to peel it, but first of all, I'm gonna add some garlic as well. So again, garlic. Garlic is something that I like to add to a lot of foods, even in raw state. So for example, for guacamole and for my when I make mayonnaise myself and things like that, I like to add raw garlic. Garlic is really good. It's antibacterial, and it also helps with your digestion. So make sure you just don't eat too much. So it's in moderation. So 1 clove of garlic, I think, a day is supposed to be really good. Again, for your throat, for your stomach. So I've got some carrots here. So what I'm going to do is I've got a peeler. I hope you can see this actually because there's a lot of steam going on here because it's cold. I have the window open, but yeah. And I think my pasta actually is nearly done. So I'm going to take it off. I'm going to leave it in the water because it will continue cooking in the water, but I'm going to take it off the heat. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my peeler to peel stripes like this. The good thing is they make really nice thick stripes. They're thick in the width, but thin in width. So yeah, I guess. But thin in length. And I'm just gonna add those then to my pan once I've pre-fried my ginger, garlic, and shallots. So I'm gonna check the chat in just a second. I'm just gonna make sure I'm gonna peel all my carrots. I'm gonna use some coconut oil. I've got a nice thick type of coconut oil. I need a spoon. Use my spoon. Here we go. So coconut oil is a little bit better for your health, especially if it's virgin pressed. So it means it doesn't have any of the additives or as little as possible additives in that make the buffer agents basically. And you don't need as much because it melts or it liquefies a bit faster. I'm going to add my wonderful carrots in here as well, and I'm going to let them soften up with like the shallots in the coconut oil. And I just drained my my pasta as well. So those carrots might take a little bit, so we're just going to let them soften. In the meantime, so I'm looking here at all the stuff that I've got. What else do I want to put in this dish? I feel this dish needs something like kale, something green. So I've got like a handful of kale here, but what I do is I go through the kale because it has like really big stalks like this, and I personally, I know some people leave it in. If it's like a stalk like this, I leave it in, but the really big, chewy stalks I take personally out because I don't like to bite onto with those. You could, if you boil the kale, I would probably leave it in because it softens up, but because you just gonna throw it in here with and quick fry it, I'm gonna double check for any kind of like big tail sauce because I don't wanna bite onto something like this. So there we go. I just chopped this a little bit smaller and then I'm gonna take it and add that also to my pan. There we go. Oh, this looks already really nice. I'm just gonna let this carrots have softened as well. Goes really quick if you have it in coconut oil like this. So I'm gonna open this up. Oil man. I'm gonna open this up. So this is teriyaki jackfruit, Asian crispy plant-based marinated jackfruit cubes. So it's something that I found on offer in one of the health stores. Let's open. Oh, that looks interesting. So, looking at the jackfruit cubes, you can't really see them properly, but they are quite hard. So I'm gonna squash them a little bit because, to be honest, it's fine. I could leave them in cubes, but because of the dish that I'm making, I want to make it a little bit more like cold, if that makes sense. And a little bit more saucy, so I'm trying to... Oh yeah, there's some hard cubes in there, but it looks interesting. Let me get a scissor. I'm gonna take this off the heat for a sec. Okay. Oh, it smells barbecuey, which is a little bit weird for teriyaki, but it looks really good. Really dark, but good. And I'm gonna add this directly to my pan here. I'm gonna add it in just a second. Out here. And again, you could just use some coconut milk and some jackfruit pieces, a little bit of like salt, pepper, and any kind of spices that you like, and make this yourself. But I had it at home, so I thought I'm gonna try it out, which is also quite nice because I can do a bit of a January review for you guys as well. Ugh, so hard to get out. So this is what my dish so far looks like. It looks very much like beef actually. So I'm just gonna combine this. Look at those colors. It looks like a pretty dish, doesn't it? You guys see this? It's a very pretty dish. So it doesn't have much liquid in it, but that's not necessarily a problem. Oh, it smells lovely. So I'm just gonna put this back onto the heat to heat up the cubes. So I'm gonna use probably, yeah, two mushrooms, just normal standard mushrooms. I like all kind of mushrooms. I love mushrooms. So I'm gonna make, because this is a very big chunky meal, I'm gonna slice them up like this and have big slices and not cubes or anything, which I'm also gonna add fairly at the end before my dish is ready, because they literally just gonna need like a minute or two. They go really quickly. Yeah, 2 is more than fine. And I think that's it for my vegetables and everything. I'm gonna try to do this really nice and arty. Might fail. Might fail, so I'll try. Okay, let's try if I can. You know, so it looks like it's just been. So what I want to do is I'm gonna put the saucy part on top, so it looks very chefy. That's a goal. And I'm gonna use my clumpy. And look at this, guys. Look at this. I hope you can see it with the steam and stuff, but it looks beautiful, doesn't it? So I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna just add some pecan nuts on top for a little bit of crunch, so we get the whole kind of like flavor experience. And here we are. Oh, look at this. Does this look pretty or what? But yes, guys, so this is what it looks like. I'm gonna show you this a little bit more beautiful here. Hope you can see this. Yeah, so this is our Asian pad thai inspired dish from not quite Bangkok. Have a lovely rest of your Sunday and thank you. Bye.